Tensions in the Middle East have escalated sharply once again after the United States launched a fresh wave of military strikes on Iran, further intensifying the conflict centered around the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz. Notably, the latest strikes came early today after Iran attacked a commercial container ship in the Strait of Hormuz over the weekend, setting the vessels on fire and leaving one crew member missing. According to the United States Central Command, or also known as CENTCOM, the operation was carried out on the orders of President Donald Trump and was aimed at degrading Iran's ability to attack civilian mariners and commercial vessels transiting through the Strait of Hormuz. In a statement, CENTCOM said that U.S. fighter aircraft, naval vessels, attack drones and for the first time one-way attack sea drones were used to target Iranian military air defense systems, coastal radar sites, missile and drone launch facilities, Revolutionary Guard post and other military infrastructure linked to the maritime attacks. Well, Iranian state media confirmed that explosions were heard in the southern cities of Bandar Abbas, Jask and Serik, all located near the Strait of Hormuz. Additional strikes were also reported on Keshma Island and other military installations. While Iranian officials acknowledged the attacks, they initially claimed there was limited damage to civilian infrastructure. However, later reports from Iranian media said that at least one person was killed and 4 others were injured in southwestern Iran. The latest U.S. action follows an earlier round of nearly 140 American strikes conducted over the weekend after Iran targeted a commercial container ship traveling through the Strait of Hormuz. The vessel caught fire following the attack, suffered extensive engine room damage and was later rescued by Omani authorities. 23 crew members were safely evacuated, but one Indian seafarer remains missing. India has condemned the attack and is closely monitoring the situation. Iran has strongly condemned the latest American strikes, describing them as a blatant violation of the United Nations Charter and accusing Washington of destroying months of diplomatic efforts that is aimed at reducing regional tensions. Iran's foreign ministry warned that any country allowing its territory or military facilities to be used for attacks against Iran could be considered a legitimate target for Iranian defensive operations. Well, within hours of American strikes, Iran launched retaliatory attacks targeting U.S. military facilities across the Gulf region. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps claimed responsibility for missile and drone strikes on American military installations in Bahrain, Kuwait and Jordan. It also claimed to have targeted Prince Hassan Air Base in Jordan, a U.S. drone command center in Bahrain and Ali Al Salem Air Base in Kuwait. Iranian officials further claimed that they had struck HIMARS, that is HIMARS missile launchers and ammunition depots in Kuwait. And as the attacks unfolded, missile warning sirens sounded repeatedly across Bahrain while Kuwait activated its air defense systems in order to intercept what they described as hostile aerial targets. Jordan's military announced that it had intercepted and destroyed 4 missiles entering its airspace from Iran. Qatar also confirmed that its air defense systems intercepted incoming projectiles, while explosions were reported in the United Arab Emirates. Oman, which has been mediating talks between Washington and Tehran, condemned the attacks and summoned the Iranian ambassador in protest. The Strait of Hormuz has now become the center of the escalating conflict. The waterway carries nearly 1/5 of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas shipments, making it one of the most strategically important maritime routes in the world. While President Donald Trump has insisted that the strait remains open for commercial shipping, Iran maintains that maritime traffic will remain restricted until stability is restored. Tehran has also warned that ships must obtain its authorization before transiting through the waterway. Despite Iran's claims, the United States says commercial navigation continues, and according to the American officials, more than 140 vessels have crossed the strait during the past week, although shipping has reduced significantly due to the growing security concerns. Well, the U.S. Navy and its international maritime partners have advised vessels to use expanded shipping routes closer to Oman while maintaining heightened vigilance. And the escalating conflict has already begun affecting global markets. Oil prices surged sharply after news of the latest military exchanges. Brent crude rose nearly 4% to around $79 per barrel, while U.S. benchmark West Texas Intermediate climbed above $74 a barrel as investors feared potential disruptions to the global energy supplies. Well, the renewed fighting has also cast serious doubt over the future of interim ceasefire and negotiations between Washington and Tehran. Diplomatic efforts led by Oman, Qatar, Pakistan and Egypt continue, but both the sides have exchanged increasingly hostile statements. Iran has accused the United States of sabotaging peace efforts, while President Donald Trump defended the strikes, saying that the US would continue targeting Iran if American interests or international shipping were threatened. United Nations Secretary General Antonio has also warned that a return to the full-scale hostilities would have catastrophic consequences for the region and the global economy. And as military operations continue and tensions remain at their highest level in months, the world is closely watching developments in the Strait of Hormuz, where any further escalation could have far-reaching consequences for the international security, global trade and the energy markets. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel.